Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today we're going to kind of go over some updates on the shop activity and show a few things that I've done in the last couple of days since my last video. We've been waiting on a converter to come in for the mill, and I got it. But before we go on to showing all that stuff, I wanted to welcome all my new subscribers that I got between this morning and now. I woke up to a real nice surprise. I went from 345 subscribers to 378 subscribers in a matter of just a couple hours. So I was watching. What had happened was I got up, and the first thing I do is I go into my computer with my cup of deplorable coffee. This cup changes and it's black like the handle is, and when you put hot coffee in it, it turns into "We the Deplorables have spoken." And already I have burnt the bottom of it. Anyway, I got in there and was watching Keith Ruckard's new video, and I never even paid any attention to my subscribers number, and all of a sudden I looked up and I said, wait a minute. And I looked at my email and I had a whole list of people who had subscribed to me, and I'm like, wow, all over my sticker. So thank you guys for subscribing. I hope that I don't disappoint anybody. And let's see, what else? I think that's about it. Just welcome to my channel, and hope you guys enjoying the content. I do just about anything and everything. Nothing is the limit. So we'll pan down here and I'll show you what I've got going, what I've done in the last couple of days. Alright, to start off with, we went ahead and finished the enclosure boxes. I painted them, and these are going to be nice enclosure boxes, but as you can see, my new box ain't going to fit in the enclosure I was anticipating fitting. So we'll use these for some other project sometime down the road. If somebody needs one, give me a holler. Maybe I can help you guys out and send you an enclosure box. This one had a hole in the top of it, so I just basically took some screens that I took off of something else and just pop ribbeted it to it, just to keep that from getting dirt and stuff like that down in it. This one didn't have that. This one has the ring that goes against your CD that welded on the inside. So this one didn't have that. This one did. So those are the enclosure boxes. Alright, then we were waiting on this bad boy, and I've hooked 12 volt to it, and I noticed that on the post, this is a, well, let's start off by saying what it is. First of all, you have, if you guys can see that, this light is blinding. You have, let me get a pointer. You've got RC, plus and minus plug. You have your voltage adjuster, which is potentiometer. Then you've got positive DC output, two of those. Then you've got negative DC output, which is here and here. Then you've got your ground. Then you've got your neutral. And then you've got your black, which is your line. Well, it's a SP200-200-24, and I'm not sure what high potted means, but I hooked it up and tested across the negative and the positive with the voltmeter to find out if I had any voltage. Well, I didn't. So I went in and looked on the post on eBay, and it says that 9 volts is required to be connected to the RC input. Alright, so I go and I find me a 9 volt DC, and it clearly says output DC 9 volts 210 milliamps. Alright, so I plug it up and I test it, and I'm going to show you guys what the test revealed on this converter. So we're going to plug this bad boy up. And because my tip won't fit in here, I have to put this in the line. So we're going to hold the black to it. Let's turn that over to DC volts. I don't know if you guys can see that number or not, but what's going on here? Now you look at that. 12.86 volts DC. That is not 9 volts. So I'm wondering if I didn't fry something in this converter. See, now it's reading 13.31 volts. And that is on this that clearly says, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it says 9 volts. So I'm not understanding why this is reading 13 volts. So I guess the next thing to do is try to find me a battery, a 9 volt battery, and I don't have any smoke detectors to rob, because we don't have any smoke detectors. Been trying to get the landlord to get us some, but they're the kind of people that say when you need like a spigot for your sink in your kitchen and you call them and say, hey, it's broke, we need one, they'll tell you to go rob it out of one of these other trailers. They don't go buy you a new one. They go buy you one that's already been used and wore out already. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have a 9 volt battery in line with my power switch. So either, well, yeah, I'm going to have a power or a 9 volt battery hooked up to my power switch. So basically what I will do is run the negative straight to the battery, then run the positive to my switch, to the input on my switch, and then on the other side the output of the switch to my motor. Or let me see, how's that? I don't have it down pat right yet. I will have it figured out probably before the day's out. So now we got to figure out how to hook this up. Now this thing here looks like it has been hit hard. I want you to look at this, and this is the way I opened it. You look at this down in here, how crooked that is, and this is up against the ground. So I'm going to have to call them and show or give them pictures of this, how it looks. It's pulled away from the board, so that may be the problem, why it's not working correct. When I hooked the converter up to it on the RC side, the fan tried to work, but it wouldn't. It was just jumping. So I'm having a feeling that because this here is separated, and I'll show you a little better here if I can get these off. Or, well, not if, when I get these off. Yeah, I don't understand why these UPS and USPS, yeah, that thing's, wow. You look at that. This here is supposed to be straight and square to this right here. It's been hit or something and shoved up, as you can see. You look in there where it's bent some of the prongs. So I have a feeling I'm back to the drawing board with this. And listen, something in there rattling. So rather than to take this thing apart, I think I'm going to send them a message and let them know that this needs to be replaced. Well, that's a bummer. And I just realized how bad that is. Yeah, something in there's rattling. So that's not good. So I guess we're back to the drawing board. Well, we'll move on. So right here is what we plan to use for the motor. We hope. I hope it's not too thin a wire, because it is really small wire. It may not be strong enough, but it does have enough wires in it that I might be able to double. If it's got 6 wires in it, I can use 3 wires and wire them together. Oh, they're pretty big wires. Yeah, they're not too bad. What we'll do, we'll just hook 2 together, and that should work for me. So we'll just cut these off. Basically what I can use is I can just take red and purple, wire them together, and use that as one wire. That ought to give me a little more be able to draw more power. At least that's my way of thinking. Now that ground is a little small. I don't know, this might not work. I was hoping to use it because it's flexible and it'll move up and down with the head, as I'm moving the head up and down. We'll see. This here will plug right into the side of my box that I made out of the CB radio. This will be trash. I don't see me needing that switch, but we'll keep it anyway just in case. And the rest of this will be thrown away. Alright. Then I went and had to get a new printer because my printer quit working. So I went ahead and took a printer apart and found this thing here. And well, I had the motor sitting here. I thought I did. Of course, it could be sitting right in front of my face and I can't see it. I have that happen to me a lot in this shop. Oh, I put it over here. That's why I couldn't find it. I got that motor off of the head movement that slides the head back and forth. And we got the belt. And we got the tensioner. Now, depending on what voltage this is, this could be used for something. But it never tells you the voltage on these, so I don't know yet. From what I understand, printers usually operate on a 24 volt DC power, AC in and 24 volt AC out, or DC out. So hopefully this stepper motor is a 24 volt or a 12 volt. We'll find out. I'll have to run these numbers and see what it says on the internet. Alright. Then I got all these rods, and these here plastic things just slide right off. So that's a nice, see what size that is. This says 15/64. Yeah, 15/64 rod. Then we got 45 1/28, whatever the hell that is. What would that be if I go down to the next size? 11/32. So it's just a hair over 11/32. And then we got this rod, which was the main one that the head went back and forth on. And that one is 61 1/28. Wow, man. 15/32. Let's see what it is on the rough side. It's approximately a 1/2 inch. So these are nice finds in that printer. I tear every printer apart and get all these rods out of them. And then I got these out of the CD-ROMs. This is what the eye slid back and forth on. So these are nice little rods that are... Why do they have such odd sizes in these things, man? 15 1/28. What the hell is that? Just a hair over 7/64. Yeah, I don't understand why they have such odd size. I bet it's millimeters. 2.97 millimeters. Let's see what this is in millimeters. 8.94. So it's 8 millimeters. 12 millimeter. And 5, well, almost 6 millimeters. So those would be nice for dowel rods, pins for like hinges or something like that, like a piston hinge, or you know, a crank pin or whatever. Who knows? So I guess I'll go in here and, God, I hate complaining on eBay, man. God, I hate it. But they make me do it a lot. Anyway, we're going to have to wait on the meal now, because we got a bad box. So, that sucks too, man. I'd like to get that meal done, because I'd like to move on to some other projects. Eventually I'm going to do my bandsaw, and I've got some things going on that, just in preparations of doing my bandsaw with a DC motor. I'll show you what motor. I plan to use this motor right here for my bandsaw, simply because I've already got the mounting brackets made for it. It's ready to bolt on. I've already had it bolted on, and it's the same color as the bandsaw, so it's going to look like it belongs on it. And we're just trying to get our stuff together and get a plan on the plan of attack. On another note, I wanted to also mention, I had to replace a light back there over the bench, and it's a whole lot brighter back there, but I had to replace it because one of the ballasts was bad and only 2 tubes was working. Well, since I only had 2 tubes anyway, and that's all I really needed, I just went and got a $10, $11 shop light and put it up. Now what brought that on was this light right here. Come in here yesterday or the day before and turned this light on, and I was standing here looking at something, and all of a sudden it sounded like an airplane was going over the camper or the shop, and it started sizzling. So I looked up and I kind of moved the hell out of the way here, and all of a sudden smoke rolled out of this thing. I mean, it filled this shop up with smoke. And I marched over and turned the switch off, and that could have been a bad deal. But what had happened was one of the ballasts burned up. So I'll show you what I did. Yes, I could have replaced the ballast with the good one that was on the other one. But what I did, I just removed this ballast here, was right here. And there's another one for these 2 lights that are on right here. I just cut this one out. So there's no power going to any of these here lugs. So this is now a 2-tube light. And it's working just fine. It used to hum. It doesn't hum no more. So I went from 4 lights to 2 lights. But it got me to thinking, it's about time to get insurance on my shop. I got way too much money in this shop. Way too much stuff that I couldn't replace if something god awful was to happen. You know, the only reason I haven't done it yet is because you have to actually go in and you have to take an inventory every last tool you have. And believe me, that's not an easy task, because I've got a lot of tools. And you think that this is a small shop, that it wouldn't have very many tools in it. But I'm here to tell you, this small shop could equip a big shop, just because of the way I have it all put in here. Yes, I could run an automotive shop and a machine shop with what I have here, and a wood shop. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here and stop rambling and get in there and do some complaining. Alright guys, we have taken this thing apart, and yes, something was rattling around in it, and what I found was this thing right here rattling around in it. Now that piece is round, half moon. It looks like the half of something, so it kind of looks like it might have came off of one of these I can't remember what it's called. Looks like it come off of some kind of a resistor. I can't find anything on that, but here's what I found. This thing here has been hit really hard and pushed it back into this, and it pushed this pole, the line in, the black, up against the fuse right there, as you can see. And then it pushed all these contacts back here up against everything. So this contact has pushed this pancake looking thing over. It pushed this over against the this resistor over into the capacitor, and this contact here is hitting against the bottom of this resistor. So yeah, this thing has some really bad issues. So in order to fix this, now to give you an update, I did call them and I sent them pictures of this, and they said they will send me a new one. I asked them if they wanted this one back. They said no. I said, well, good, I'll scrap it. But I don't think I am going to scrap it. I think I'm going to try to fix this by desoldering this whole rail off of here, and then straighten it back up, and then resolder it after I see if there's any damage. Now we know that there's damage because of that little piece right there, so we got to figure out where that came from. I would imagine it came off of something in this area. We'll find out once we get this rail out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to see if we can't desolder this. And I never get a text until I'm talking on a video. Y'all notice that? So that's the update. I'm just going to go ahead and add it to the video that I'm putting up right now. So I've got it in the editor right now, editing it. So as soon as all these are loaded, and this is the part that takes the most time, is each one of these clips. See, one just popped up. So we're waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4 videos to load. Once it's loaded, we can go ahead and edit this for you guys to see. So anyway, there's my setup, guys. So anyway, this will be the true end of this video. So this is just the alternative ending to this video. I might put both endings in it, I don't know. So until we figure out what's going on with this and where that little insulator came off of, it came off of one of these, and hopefully we can find one on eBay and purchase a new one and solder it in, and hopefully have another good 12 or 24 volt converter. So if I can fix this one, then it's a good possibility that the bandsaw's next. So, you guys have a good one. Later.